Hey everybody, I'm back with another My Hero Academia movie review. And I just did one for two heroes. Now I'll be covering Heroes Rising tonight. And we got a reprising of the roles of Izuku Midoriya as just uh, played by Justin Briner, Bakugo Clifford Chapin, Shoto David Matringa, Uraka Lucy Christian, Ida J. Michael Tatum, Momo Colleen Clickenbird, Kirishima Justin Cook, Asui Monica Rail, Manetta Brina Palencia, Kaminari Kyle Phillips, Jiro Trina Nishimura, Mina Ashido, Caitlin Glass, Tokuyami Joss Greel, Soji Ian Sinclair, Ayayama Joe McDonald, Ojiro Mike McFarlane, Ciro Christopher Bevins, Toru Hakakuri Felicia Angelio, Saito Chris George, Coda Greg Aries, All Might Christopher Sabat, Aizawa Christopher Woodcamp, Nezu Jerry Joel, Recovery Girl Lucy Christian, Mira Kenny Green, Midoriya Inko Midoriya, Jessica Kavanaugh, Endeavor Patrick Seats, Hawks Zeno Robinson, Rocklock Gabe Kunda, Tomono Shigaraki Eric Vale, Dobby Jason Liberich, Toga Lee Clark, Twice Newton Pittman, Spinner Larry Brentley, Yujiku Mark Stoddart, Shimino, Mahoro Shimino, Danny Chambers, Kasuma Shimino, Maxi Whitehead, 9, Johnny Young Bosch, Slice, Lydia McKay, Mummy, Brandon Blabber, Chimera, Greg Deleuze, and Mahuro and Kasuma's father, played by Josh Bangle. There's a lot of people here. And this story is set after the Meta Liberation Army arc. So pretty deep within, and at this point Bakugo knows about the whole, one for all for one situation. Anyway, the premise of this story, the Class 1A is sent to this island called Naboo. Just now got the Star Wars reference just this freaking second. Naboo. Once I sounded it out loud, then it kind of clicked. They're sent to Naboo, only with one O, not two, where they're helping this pretty much like a suburban or countryside type of residential area that's not part of the mainland, where they barely get any kind of criminal activity. It's part of their program where they learn how to just do the day-to-day stuff with helping citizens, patrolling, just get to knowing the people who they're there to protect. That's very important. Is not just beating up bad guys or stopping bank robberies. It's like really just getting to know the people that you're trying to help, which I think My Hero Academia and Naruto do the best job when it comes to training young kids to be heroes. Because honestly, there is a lot thought out in this. Because, yeah, it would be important for young heroes to learn the people in their local neighborhood, like like Spider-Man, you know, be the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man kind of situation. You don't really need to always have to be a part of the big stuff. Uh, so while assisting the people there and getting to know them and vice versa, uh, Deku and Bakugo come across these two young kids, the Shimura children, and the younger boy wants to be a hero, but the older sister dismisses it because she sees it as just dangerous, and she doesn't want her brother to get involved into the kind of life that a hero would have. But that's around a little bit into the coming days, because I don't know how long they're supposed to, maybe like a week here or something like that they're supposed to spend. But the these three, I don't know, four villains, one of them being the leader, Nine, and his cronies. This woman who kind of looks like Medusa from Marvel Comics with the whole hair situation, but instead of hair can use like whips or entangling people, it's like daggers or knives that she can make really sharp. And it's the mummy guy who he uses his bandages to wrap up inanimate objects so he can puppeteer to do his dirty work. He just can't do it on organic individuals. Then there's Chimera, who's this kind of literal beast of a man, where it's like he has all these different power sets of these animals, and very tough to deal with. And of course the leader Nine, who literally has 9 powers because he was one of the doctor that's working with All For One, that will be ultimately captured in the later seasons, has copied All For One's power into Nine, trying to assist in trying to run some experiments and see like what he can do in order to transfer All For One's consciousness or essence or whatever into a more virile body. It's kind of like a proto Shigaraki, which League of Villains would get little cameos here and there in this movie. Unfortunately, Nine can acquire up to 9 powers. His main power being weather manipulation. However, the experiment that was done on him caused a negative outcome where now he is got a terminally ill disease. So while he's acquiring all these powers, he's trying to find one with cell regeneration, so that way he can cure his own disease. Because he ultimately wants to live, so he can rule pretty much rule with only like the strongest crook will survive kind of situation. So they Nine ends up ultimately finding the young children's father, who has cell regeneration, but the problem is it doesn't work with him because they don't have similar blood types. But he comes to realize, he has children. One of them has to have, not only is, when this rose in the issue I have in my mind, but he needs one of the children to have not only the similar power, but also his own blood type. And it's like, that's too many coincidences that you need to have it work in your favor, in my opinion. But the writers wrote it that way. I think, they could have I don't know how many drafts they went through just to come up with this idea, but I think it was too coincidental to uh, give this uh, 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 this little leeway to work in the villain's favor. And it's like, I don't know. You could have wrote it. It's like, oh, the father has like a different quirk, or I don't know. It's like, he goes through some kind of paperwork with something he can figure out that, oh, this kid has not only this the cellular generation I'm looking for. I'm just gonna go there. They could have just left the whole blood type thing and he just come up with a written thing in the script where it's like, oh, I found this young boy who lives on this island. He has cell regeneration. We can just go there and find it. And by the way, out of all the quirks, because if you watch the anime, as Deku narrates before, like almost 80% of the world's population has quirks. You mean to tell me, or at least close to 80%, you mean out of all the people in the world, or at least so far as like a good chunk in Japan, not one of them has cell regeneration powers? Are you joking? Hell, even something like, Irie, who has reversal powers, but even still, it's like you could have found something to utilize to do healing, a healing power, or a self-healing power, or something. I don't know. It's just like it didn't align with me personally. That's just me. But anyway, so now they make their way onto Nabu, or Nabu, and the kids get caught with their pants down. They did, make they made the priorities, protecting the citizens, but they got caught with their pants down because the villains not only took out transportation back to the mainlands, but also the radio tower, so they can't, reach out to the mainland to ask for help. But you would think that, people from the mainland, any one of those heroes would try to reach out to check on their students, see how things come along, and if multiple heroes are getting issues of trying to reach out to them, they don't think like, okay, maybe we should check on them, because why is like Aizawa trying to contact somebody, nobody's answering. All Might trying to contact Deku and Bakugo, nothing's happening. President Mike, Hawks, nobody is getting word from none of those kids. It's kind of weird that no one is answering. And then go and check. Yeah, that part is kind of like puzzling to me because, I don't know. It just seems like, okay, I guess you can let slide, but it's just like, okay, realistically, people will be a little concerned that multiple, teachers are failing to get in contact with 20 of the students. Not one, at least, with the class reps like Creative and Ida, you think like, okay, I know the class reps would answer our calls. Okay, if they're not answering, okay, something's wrong. It's like, how come nobody is answering? It just seems like, okay, they will hightail it quickly over there and see what's up. But that didn't happen. But anyway, while Deku and Bakugo try their best to stop Nine from capturing the young boy, just with a Deus Ex Machina, his illness catches up with him, so his partners, make a retreat, all except for Mummy, who the students, at least a few of the students, managed to stop and capture him. But they found out that the boy has cell regeneration powers. So he's healing Bakugo and Deku, who got massively hurt trying to protect him and his sister from this powerful being, and who also has like power stealing abilities as well. And I can't help but think of Kimamaru from Naruto, who like similarly has like some kind of like an illness that will slowly kill him if he doesn't try to acquire a Sasuke kind of thing. So I can't help but like immediately think of Kimamaru in this exact situation, who's built Tonka tough and only Gara and Rock Lee only managed to defeat him only because he died literally on the spot. I mean, it's like literally inches away of killing Gara in that for a split second. Talk about Deus as Machina. So, well, both groups are recuperating. Deku comes up with a plan where they evacuated the people to the separate island behind this massive castle, where the kids are building this pretty much like a siege type of situation, which is kind of dope. So they do like a 3-tier fronts. Well, the first tier, Naval Laser and Creative come with the idea to, okay, we got to split them off because we won't be able to take them on as they're working together. They're already tough enough by themselves as it is. So they split them off. While Shoto and a couple of people deal with the beast, and Tokoyami and the acid girl, Pinky, deals with the lady with the hair. Now, thanks to Dark Shadow going ultimate, monster, taking her down, but in the process, Pinky gets hurt and he gets exhausted, and then we got the Chimera guy. Thanks to the team efforts of Red Riot, Shoto, Ida, and Froppy, they managed to subdue him long enough so that way Shoto can use his ice powers and just shove his whole hand inside this dude's mouth and just freeze him from the inside out, which is the dopest move I've seen in this movie so far. At least one of the dopest moves. But then they end up passing out from just sheer exhaustion and overuse of their abilities. So now it's down to 9 and the others, who, well, they try their best because they know they can't beat him, but they know that overtaxing his abilities will cause his sickness to overwhelm him, and he'll just be done. Because Creative already sent out a drone with a distress signal for somebody to pick up, which they do, so that kind of alerts Hawks and the others, so they're making their way back to the island. But that'll still take some time. So they're pretty much doing like a stall tactic. So down to Bakugo, Deku, Tentacool, Earphone Jag, Uravity, all the rest except for the guy who eats sugar that gets stronger. Besides from him and the Invisible Girl, who pretty much looking after the people who are behind the castle, is like to make sure they're safe. They're all doing their best to make sure the kids don't get hurt. So Deku and Bakugo is down to those two, but unfortunately it's just not enough. Despite Deku maxing out his 100% full cowling, still wasn't enough. So he realized, okay, he's gonna land One for All to Bakugo, because he figures like, okay, with One for All's ability to maximize somebody's baseline quirk, he figures Bakugo will have the necessary uh, power to just overwhelm this guy. But he knows that once he do this, he will eventually not have one for all, period. But he figures like, okay, it doesn't matter. We need to stop this guy because I can't let those kids get hurt. So this means the end of my hero career and my dreams, but damn it all, I gotta, stop this guy. So he, wills the gift to him via like sharing DNA. So, and they both extremely powered up. This is the second most awesome animation style and fighting sequence I've seen in this film. So, both amped up Bakugo and Deku, charge and just overall wreck this dude. Blast him so far out, like they think he's dead, but he's crawling, just haggard, and he come across Shigaraki, who's like, yeah, you think, because I think Shigaraki is a little butthurt, thinking like, oh, his master's thinking he's gonna be his number one guy. I can't have that. So he kills him. It's like, I will, you're right about one thing, only the strongest, should rule, but it's not gonna be you. Peace out, dude, because you're a failure anyway. So it's like, the master ain't gonna like you anyway. But in this part of my biggest gripe I have in the entire film, because this, I think a lot of people will agree, it's kind of like a big cop out moment. They could have wrote something else. There's too many Deus Ex Machinas for me to feel comfortable with, but this one is the most egregious. Deku wakes up, still have one for all, because he's, crying to All Might, apologizing, says like, I failed you, like, but I had to give a one for all to Bakugo in order to stop the villain. But All Might sees that he still has one for all, and it turns out the past users, just gave him kind of like a mulligan, whereas like he still can keep it because they believe in him, kind of rhetoric. And I was like, I can't help but just like, bullshit. Like, really? I was like, I don't know. It just seems like, okay, that was too easy of an out. And on top of that, Bakugo doesn't remember the entire situation of utilizing one for all. They could have come up with something else to say, like, I don't know, he can at least speak with his vestiges in his mind. It's like, look, we'll share temporarily. It's going to last for a couple of minutes, but we'll share this power between you and Bakugo in order to take down this villain. Because I know it's dire, and we see your life ebbing away. We'll, share the power between you two, but it's only going to last a couple of minutes. Otherwise, it'll just go right back to you, and then you're pretty much on your own. Like, I would have, allowed that. I could easily let that ride, because that seemed like it, made better sense. Because what they had done in this film seems so, like, too much of a cop-out for me to feel comfortable with. But anyway, it all ends on a happy note. Endeavor shows up crying, flaming tears and hugging his son and everything like that. All the kids are, getting nursed back to health, and, the kids see their father again. Hawks, rescues Tokiyami and everything, and Pinky. All the rest of the villains, they, at least Chimera guy should have gotten killed after that attack, but he's somehow still alive. So all the Nine's little partners in crime are completely, arrested and taken to prison. And the movie ends with the kids saying goodbye to Nobu and the kids, and Deku telling the boy he can be a hero, and hopefully he'll see him in in UA one day. And that was pretty much Heroes Rising. I'm going through all four of the My Hero Academia films so far. I mean, it's not a terrible film by any stretch of the imagination, but there's too much stuff that I've mentioned before that seems too much of like a cop out for me. Where it's like, maybe it's because this movie is meant to be just the last film for My Hero Academia until something got leaked or something happened where people assumed there was supposed to be another film, so they had to make another film. So they technically made four. They just made the fourth one last year. Or, sorry, not last year. I think 2023 or 2024, something like that. So I am going through all four. So I got two more that I will be reviewing next week. So look forward to those. But so far, I think the first film is still better. Once I get through all four, I'll rank them properly. But so far, it's like, in terms of narrative stuff, there's certain plot holes in this that I just could not jive with. But maybe you guys feel differently, so you can let me know in the comments below. So follow me in the links in the description. My YouTube channel, my Twitch, Patreon, Twitter, etc. And I will see you guys tomorrow for some more content. Take care and have a good night, people. Take care.